What's up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Jeff. I'm the owner of RDR Gear here in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you don't know what to do at RDR, you can find a couple different ways. One, primarily this YouTube channel. It helps Christian out quite a bit, helps me out. The channel's growing. We want to get those numbers up and then hopefully bring you guys some new cool content. You can also find us on our Instagram and Facebook page, as well as our website, rdrgear.com, where we list all of our products: Kydex, Canine Gear, Safariland wraps, holster mods, etc. So with that out of the way, let's talk long-range shooting. A lot of you guys were really into the FN video we did recently and had commented about other 308 guns. And I've been scouring looking for 308 guns, and it's tough to find 308 setups. And I figured, you know what, let's talk about long range as a whole. A lot of people hit me up on long range shooting or what guns, or they see content from rifles and things we do down at Bucks class in Teasdale. This is a gun that not this exact gun, but similar setup with the same scope that I've been using for about the past 3 years, going back and forth down to Teasdale. I've gone to a class with Jared Reston, the Reston group, with the guys at Ridgeline. I'm going back out to Ridgeline in September. I won't be taking this gun, but I'll be taking one similar. And long distance shooting, I think, is a little bit of a misnomer. For example, everybody wants to start out and get out there and blast some crazy ass distance and not really have their fundamentals or their house in order in regards to building their house, building their foundation to be able to execute at 100 yards before you get out to 1,000 yards, right? This is a 5.56 16-inch gun. This is a Noveske Afghan barrel, PWS, or excuse me, ADM lower receiver here, and basic B5 stock. The optic is a 318 Tremor 3 reticle. This is a great option for a 5.56 gun. Running a Surefire Mini, COD defensive light, Geissele rail, Geissele trigger, Atlas bipod. This gun is everything you need to get into shooting at distance or intermediate distance to be proficient to shoot long distance. If you can get into a less expensive gun than, say, a 6.5 or 308 or 6mm or 6mm arc, whatever it is you want to shoot, this is a great way to get into learning and building your house. And I use the word building your house because a lot of guys that I've learned from use the same terminology. I am no means any professional at long distance. I have learned from some of the best guys out there, and building your house is a key component to being able to do anything past 100 yards. Your body position, your hand on trigger, your loading of bipod, the magnification you have on the glass, all those things take into consideration how you are going to engage targets at distance. If you can run all of that at 100 yards, you'll be amazed. Little story, my buddy Jake, who owns Olive Drab Industries here in Utah, is a good buddy of mine. He's an all-Army Guard guy. He shoots for the all-Army team, or the all-Guard team, and the dude is a savant on a rifle. I've sent many of my friends to Jake to learn basic rifle stuff at distance, and everybody's comments are always, the first day we shot at 100 yards. And that's exactly the reason why. You cannot get out to animal distances, or let alone small target distances, if you are not 100% efficient in building your house. You got to be able to get into the gun, load that bipod, get your rear bag in place, and be on this gun. We got into Buck's class. When I was going on Teasdale to shoot with Buck, you would be amazed with how many dudes cannot load a rifle from an open bolt in the prone position. That is a huge thing. Or dudes will try to load on a closed bolt, even with a 20 rounder. They'll try to load a 30 rounder in this gun with a closed bolt, and the mag won't seat. And they don't understand simply loading from a closed bolt allows them to run that charging handle forward and being able to seat that round on an open chamber. It is weird on that aspect. That's something so simple that most guys, but that's part of building your house. Getting on the gun, getting down there, locking your bolt to the rear, run your charging handle forward, get your mag in there, drop your mag, drop your bolt, dust cover closed, gun on safe, and you're ready to go, right? Little things like that, you would be amazed how many people miss that basic thing. Or getting on there and shooting a target 100 yards and cranking that scope all the way up to the max power. No, not needed, right? So little things make a big difference. Having a rear bag. You know, rear bag is key. I see a lot of dudes on Instagram, different places, trying to shoot like this. Or they're shooting like this, right? With no rear bag. You need a rear bag to be able to level this gun off, to get on here. So now the only thing that I'm doing on this rifle is this, right? This rifle has stability, so I can get in here, get behind the gun, body behind the gun, load that bipod, safety off, and break that shot. Having a rear bag is a crucial piece of gear when you're shooting anything at distance, part of your house. Magazines. You'll notice this bipod is not very big, is not very tall, but it can go. This is an Atlas, which are super expensive, and some people will not like them. Others will, but if I load this bipod all the way out to its max extension, I can probably get a 30 rounder in here now, right? But how do I do with my rear bag now, right? So by understanding my gear needs, my Atlas bipod can close. I run 20 rounders with my rear bag. If I need rise adjustment, I can pop one out, and get there to figure out what I need. And if I need to, more ammo, now I can get a 30 rounder in there, right? So, but say maybe I've got a bad back, bad neck, I'm a shorter torsoed individual, and maybe I need maybe getting here from the ground to the ocular is too much distance. What's cool about the Atlas bipods, you can adjust these legs forward, lock them out, and get that gun super low to the ground to where now you're just barely clearing about a 1 inch off the ground. This is a cool way, especially if you're going to a class where the class starts out shooting prone or zeroing the guns in a prone position. This is a great way to adjust that, right? You can add more height to get some downward angle as well. If you need to get behind the gun, I can get behind this rifle. I can load into the bipod. I can get on this rifle now. I got some downward angle. Depending on how much I need, will determine body position and the target I'm shooting. So that's another great piece there. The Atlas bipod, some dudes will swear by them. Some dudes will say they're trash, but bipods can get crazy expensive. I know my buddy Jake will probably be mad at me when he sees this and I spent money on Atlas, but his bipods are just something for me that I don't personally need. They're super expensive. Side note on a bipod, if you're going to get a bipod and you're running an M-LOK rail, your mounting solution for your bipod, right? Plastic ones will bite you in the ass every time. If you buy these M-LOK extensions from Magpul, get the aluminum ones. Do not buy the plastic ones. The plastic ones, the more you load these bipods, over time, those polymer ones, they will flex and they will get memory and they will eventually, you'll be loading this gun one time into something, doing whatever, you get a good load on this thing and it's going to snap forward and they just break. The polymer ones are no good. Get the metal version. Weapon light on a gun like this, up to you completely. This is still a gun that I could work through a structure. I can work an offset 45 or the top or on the side. I just don't have one for the GDI mounts. I normally run an offset delta point over here. I just don't have it on today, but that's something that I can still clear with my weapon light, and I can put my light, either move my light down here to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock and then run the offset 45. But at the end of the day, I usually have the offset 45 on the top on most of my rifles, just because it allows me, if I'm shooting in a position, I need to look at a target terrain. Like I was talking to Crispy today, sometimes we get stuck looking for the target on the target terrain. We keep looking into the glass. If you come out of the glass and use a 12 o'clock red dot, we can find that target, move, find that to the red dot, get on the optic on the glass, and usually we'll see the target in the glass. So having a 12 o'clock red dot is a little bit more intuitive, and if you had to run it in a CQB environment or move through a structure, you're simply just cheeking the gun with the chin and then looking through the 12 o'clock red dot and understanding your mechanical offset. So at the end of the day, having a red dot at the 12, I feel is better than having a red dot. At the 45, that becomes preference. Bipods, little Arca rails. So this is a little Arca rail section that I got through Amazon. And what this will do, it'll mount to a bipod. You'll see that in a later video. This allows me to use a bipod in the prone position. If I don't have the bipod on, I can do it in a kneeling, double kneeling, standing. And with the Arca, it simply just holds the gun in place on a tripod for me. So it's a very good option for if you're using, mag was out, gun's clear, and now I'm using this as a spotting scope for someone else shooting. That's a great option as well, because now it's on a tripod, it's hands-free, it's very easy to use, no problem there. When you're using rifles, or you're doing a long range or an intro to long range class, or just out in the range for yourself, you don't need a ton of gear. You need a rear bag, your rifle setup, of course, 20 rounders is key. And then this is the great reason to run one of our MSP or MCPs. So this chest rig has everything you need to run with this rifle. Inside the pouch here, I have a Kestrel, I have a rangefinder, I have one extra 30 rounder, I have one extra 20 rounder. If I had a pistol on me at that time, I can run 2 pistols. I can take this insert out, run another 20 rounder in here, right? And have enough ammo for me to run this at any basic class, or if I'm on a range training day with some buddies, I have 30, 20, 40, 60 rounds. That's 90 rounds of whatever ammo I'm doing in a precision setup, because we're not there burning things down, we're there shooting purpose-driven rounds to yield a purpose-driven result. So at the end of the day, having a chest rig is a great option, because you can run med kit down here. If you don't want to run med down here, run notepad, run a dope card, run any kind of tool you need for adjustments, batteries for any of the digital stuff that you have up top. It gives you a great option to be able to put everything you need in this small little package to work this rifle. At the end of the day, guys, long range is one of those things that can be super stupid expensive. But if you get into a basic gun and start with a 5.56 rifle, you can get a ton of information, a ton of knowledge, a ton of learning done, and really learn to build your house on a 5.56 rifle that really can transfer over to a bigger caliber rifle. If you went 308, no problem dropping this Tremor 3 onto 308 rifle. If you went 6.5, you probably want to go to 5 to 25, to be honest. But you always have a 5.56 gun to work up on a gas gun setup. You know, you can do a lot of different things, tweak a lot of stuff out, night vision, weapon lights, switches, lasers, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of things out there you can build these rifles into. So again, if you want to get in long range shooting, don't worry so much about shooting that 800,000 yard target. Be proficient at shooting dimes at 100 and then move on from there, right? Thanks for watching, guys. Always post 2 to 3 videos every week on Gear That We Manufacture, Gear That We Review, Gear That We Own. Until next time, be well. Take care. What do you think?
I like it. I
Really
like the incorporation of the chest.
Awesome. Do you have a movie reference this week for me? Because your ambulance review reference, that was absolutely, for me to share with you my disdain on you saying, hey, you should watch The Ambulance, and not using curse words is going to be hard. That movie, it was so bad, Christian, that I actually put out an Instagram post on how crappy that movie was.